Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be discussing how to fill your CV for your exchange application, uh, probably quickly, or I'll just try to make it easier for you all. Now, before starting, I'd like to reiterate one point is that you don't have to submit your CV which you have made on your independently in your in the format of your choice, etc. No, for your application, exchange applications per se, you have to necessarily adhere to the CV document which has been provided. So you go to the website for which the link has been already sent on the group, and then you go to the documents page, and then you will find all the documents. Now, before watching this video, I'll suggest you that please watch the video which I have made about application form, that is the AF. So that in that I have spoken a lot of basics about how to download and stuff. So it's preferable that you watch that video fully first to know the basics, but I'll try to reiterate and revisit some important points. So here you have all your documents. So uh, this is the CV. You just click on download PCV. Now for some it may get opened in Google Docs, and please don't try to fill it there itself on the original document. Basically you can't, and please don't request access for editing. What you have to do is download it, or if it's open in Google, you can there is an option called make a copy. Okay, and for Android users on Google Chrome, you can open it in incognito tab, or you can open new tab in groups for the download link to work. Now, nevertheless, we'll go on to the actual application. So in PECV, you will open the form. Now, till the time it opens, I'll mention a few points that please be honest with whatever you have mentioned. Any immoral, unethical practice will not be tolerated, and if if any fake or forged proof or forged signature or certificate or whatsoever is provided, such an application will be disqualified, and such uh, person will be blacklisted. That is not allowed for future applications. And secondly, your AF and your CV has to be necessarily in Word document format, that is your .doc or .docx, and within 1 MB. So basically, after you edit, please don't convert it to PDF. I'm reiterating, it has to be in Word document format, or you can edit it in your Google Docs as well on your personal drive, but it has to be in a word processor format, that is .doc or docx. Now this is the CV which I'm talking about. Basically you have to download it from the website as I have done, and you have to edit this. Don't submit a personal CV of any some other format, etc. Just fill in this document which has been provided. Now for this code which has been asked, you don't have to fill anything because it is for office use only. Now talking, we'll just go through one questions quickly, and this is a shorter one compared to the AF. So I'll just mention, for example, senior core Avishkar 2022 to uh, or like senior core member. You actually, sorry, you can mention senior core, or you can mention coordinator, because the core members are coordinators. Or else if you're the chief coordinator, you mention chief coordinator. If you're treasurer, you mention treasurer, or etc. Or for example, I'll keep it as coordinator. And then your term, basically from when you were appointed, that is when your gymkhana notice was released, and till the, of course, till when your term is ending. If you're a member, you of course know when your term is ending. Or if you don't know exact, you can even mention it tentatively. For example, for Avishkar Senior Core, you can mention it October 2022 because Avishkar is in October 2022. But considering that the proceedings go on for a while after that, also you can write whatever suits, um, whatever you find appropriate and correct. But of course, the post should be a correct one. And then, for example, if you, I don't remember, but okay, I'll take another example. For example, uh, junior academic secretary. So the term was, I'll tell about my time. It was like November 2019 to sorry, not junior, it was junior core. Sorry, junior core, junior academic secretary was February 20 2021 to October 2021. So I'll put that. The name of the event or council is basically Gymkhana. For your Avishkar, you can write Avishkar 2022. Okay, and your term whatever it was. And again, I reiterate that you don't have to fill the last column, and I'm sorry for that pop-up window of low charging. Then again, whether you have or you are medical part of any medical organizations other than MSCI, I'll avoid mentioning some names, so because it's not fair that I mention one and not mention others. But again, you can write it, the name of the organization, member since, and if they have a website, please do mention the website. But some may not have a website, so you can avoid mentioning that. Okay, you can write NA or you can leave it blank. Then, if you have attended any additional medical workshops or courses, for example, people who are doing research, they do good clinical practices course, or recently Confluence and many other such academic conferences have been done, and like many of you wonderful people have been uh, taken or like been a participant in the workshop and learned a lot. So you can write a workshop. For example, probably interventional radiology hands-on workshop or suturing workshop, then conducted and I'll just mention suturing workshop just for an example, then conducted or certified by. So it was basically, you can just write Confluence 2022, and then date is like I don't remember the date, but somewhere around 27th August or 20, somewhere in the 20s of the August and whatsoever. Now, one thing I'll reiterate that these have to be medical or medical related workshops or courses. So don't write random workshop or courses you have done which are non-related to medicine. Then question 4 is if you have participated in any competitive sport, musical instrument, dancing, singing at international, national, state level. Now it is the thing is you need to have a certificate for this as well. So you can just mention sport or musical. For example, musical instrument you can write, and then you can basically our band recently won uh, at a competition. So if you have been a part of it, then you can write the musical instrument dash whatsoever dash 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 and the level it was, if it was international, national or state. Then coming to question 5, which is research projects that you are involved in. So it is, although some might think that it is confidential, but for any official professional work, you have to reveal certain things. So here you will have to mention the project title if you want it to be considered in your application, in your CV, and thus your exchange application. So basically, write your project title if it is completed or ongoing. Now, if it is ongoing, it is understood, but if it is completed, it could be either completed, but it need not necessarily be published. Okay. And then if it is self funded, or if there was any scholarship given for this, or if it was a sponsored project. And then if it was published, you can write the journal name. Okay. Now I'll just give some scenarios that original researches, be it of any study design, you can write it, it is understood. So if you're working on that, then basically for this question 5, you have to submit proofs either in the form of the IC approval, that is your institutional ethics committee or institutional review board approval, ethics approval, as the proofs, or you can also like otherwise submit the letter of your guide acknowledging your active contribution as a research team member uh, on the official letterhead of the department or of the institution. Okay. And it has to be duly signed with date, and it should have a clear name of yours and the clear name of the project and the clear name of the guide. Okay, so make sure that is done. So for your original researches of any type of study design, you any project which is like has IC approval is considered to be started. Okay, but if you're currently working on an ongoing review article, so review type of research, it could be the narrative review or a systematic review or a systematic review with a meta-analysis. So in such a case, such studies do not require IC approval. So for this, you have to mention your guide's uh, letter. So this is about it. And yes, if it is published, you need not even submit IC or guides letter. You can just submit the proof of the article link, or the article document you can attach as the proof for it. At least the first page of it where the author names are listed. And then if you have presented your research in form of poster presentation or paper presentation, of if or if you have done any case presentation, or if you done any symposium, so you have to write it as project, like is 6 and 7 is basically, 6 is participation, 7 is prize, if you have won any prize. Okay. And the first column is project or case title. So if it is a project, that is, if it is a research, so you have to write the name, and the name, you have to like just write P here, and then whatever it was, if it was a poster, write poster, paper, then write paper. And if it was a symposium, you can write symposium, and here you can just mark P. And if it was on national international level, and if it was a case, for example, this uh, a triplet, any, basically the name of the case which you had given during a presentation. So for cases, okay, and which are presented at a conference, mind it, please don't mention the names of the cases which you have presented in your clinical postings. That is not valid. Okay. So write the name of the case, select C here, and then write case here and whatever, if it was national or international. Now again for 6 and 7 you will need either participation certificate or the winning certificate, whatever is applicable. For 6 participation and for 7 uh, the winning certificate. So for this question 7, this is similar, this is 7, but this is a new thing. So here in the first half of the column you have to mention whether it was national or international, and in the second half you have to mention what prize was won. It could be either you could be the winner or the first rank, whichever term you is mentioned in your certificate, or it could be the runner up or second rank, or it could be the second runner up or third rank. These are terms which are used. Basically write whichever is written in your certificate. Okay, or for even and for symposia there are also prizes of best speaker and best tech, best abstract at some places, so you could mention that as well. And then question number 8 is for, have you conducted or been any part of a social activity aimed at serving the community other than MSA activity? So if you have done so, so feel free to mention the activity and your role and the date of it. But make sure that you have a proof for it in terms of some letter of appreciation or whatever. Now for question 9, have you ever worked for COVID relief? So you just have to mention the work and the details of it. You don't have to submit any proof for that. And for question number 10, it's other interesting facts about you. Now, please make sure that you feel that it's interesting yourself, okay, and mention it. Now again for question 10 also you need not submit any proofs as such. Now academics is year of study, could be either second year, third year or fourth year. Okay, preferably mention in second, third and fourth. Or you can write third minor, third part 1 and third part 2, but uh, second, third, fourth probably is easier to understand. And I repeat here that first year students can't apply for scopy exchanges, so please don't uh, fill this form. So if you're a first year students, and then mention percentage scored in your last university exam, and if there was a distinction in any of the subjects. Okay, the proof for these two questions is the same proof that is your mark sheet of the previous year. Okay, and yeah, that's about it. And again, I'll repeat that this last table should not be filled by you. It is for officials only. And with this, we are done with CV. And I'll reiterate that please do not convert it to PDF. Okay, uh, I'll save it. Make sure that you save it, of course, and then you have to rename it and make sure that you submit in the document format and not a PDF format. So for this, I'll write CV Pauras, basically CV, and in bracket your name, and then I will copy paste this to the final documents, or whatever folder which you have made for all proofs at one place. And finally, in this video itself, I'll just go through other documents for you as well, so that you just have a brief idea about it. So firstly, I'll go to the parents waiver form. So please don't mind the Arabic Google Docs. I myself am not able to read it, but never mind. Yeah, for the parents waiver form, I'll just tell you what you have to fill. On this you have to write the date, that is for example 20th of September 2022, just for example. In this one, the second blank you have to write your father, mother or legal guardian's name, and make sure that you delete the remaining one or strike out the remaining ones, and here will be your name. Okay, so, for your parents waiver cancellation policy and COVID-19 policy, since you have to sign, what you can do is you can print it out and then sign, and then scan it into PDF. So for this, PDF is acceptable as far as you know, but only for your parents waiver. cancellation policy, and COVID-19 policy. Other and for your AF and your CV, those two have to be compulsorily in your .doc or .docx formats. And so since you can, like, you can, if it's possible, it's if it's feasible for you like that, you can, print it, then fill it and sign it and do it. If it's feasible, you can first edit it and fill in the details and then print it and then sign it. Or if it's possible for you, or feasible for you, you can all, e-signatures are also allowed, so you can do that as well and submit in form of docx or your pdf as well, whatever is comfortable for you. So basically your date, your parents or your guardian's name, and your name. Then make sure that you ask them to read this of formalities which are important. Here will be your guardian's name, the signature and the date of signing. And here again, here it will be your name, your signature and date. Mind it that here will be your parents or guardian signature, and at the bottom it will be your name and your signature. Moving on to the next document, which is your cancellation policy. Now, I'll like to say that this is a very important document which you should read, because if in case you have to cancel or whatsoever, the details about, how much you will get a refund if you have paid, or what are the consequences in terms of future applications or whatsoever are mentioned here. So you please give it a read. And then uh, so uh, and again, all this you have to read, and it is all self-explanatory. And then the name of the student, that is your name, your signature, and the date on which it is being signed. uh, and then the last document is COVID-19 policy. So here you will write I, which is, and then your name, son or daughter or child of so and so, means basically your name, your mother's or father's or guardian's name. Okay. And then again your name, your signature and date. That's all. So these are the three other documents other than AF and CV. So now once you're done with it, make sure that, or like, not make sure, but like, I'll suggest you to make a folder in which there are all documents which you have to submit in your application package submission form, so that when you're filling it, you have all in one place, which makes the form filling much easier. So with this we are done with this video. Thank you so much.